Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Bridge Builders of Diversity. Welcome to today's conversation on congenital limb loss.
Well, the public has spoken. We looked back at our video about amputees and we noticed a lot of people wanted to look at that video. So we thought we would dive a little bit more deeply into that topic and talk about congenital limb defects. Not uncommon. And in an article from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, which is a world-renowned children's hospital, if you've ever heard to it referred to as CHOP, where I've actually, even though I don't live in Philadelphia, I've had students who have received services at CHOP. So what are congenital limb defects? Let's jump right into it. Congenital limb defects occur when a portion or the entire upper or lower limb fails to form normally or does not form when the baby is developing in utero. So the most typical instance that I've witnessed is a loss of fingers or toes. They just didn't develop in utero, so the child was born without them. Some of the causes, sometimes it's just an accident, and it's let me get the exact words.
Something to do with bands.
Yes, it's a rupture of the amnion. I wish I had my nurse friend here. Resulting in bands that become entangled in the extremities of the fetus, causing immobilization, constriction of the limbs, amputations, and deformities. In other words, let's just say the ball rolls off the track. I had a professor a long time ago say that fetal development is like a ball on a track. You put the ball on the track and sometimes it falls off and rolls back on, and you have what's known as a birth defect. So with these children who are born sometimes without fingers or toes, or sometimes missing a hand or a part of a foot, the ball rolled off the track and then it rolled back on. They are not affected other than that. So what we might see for treatment, it depends on the medical history, the extent of the condition, the type of condition, and the tolerance for medications, procedures, and things like that. But overall, treatment for congenital limb defects is to provide a child with a limb that functions properly, or to provide them with strategies for how to operate without that limb.
And this is different than in the 60s. Moms were being given
thalidomide, yes, the thalidomide babies.
Thank you for
from long ago. Yeah, that was tragic because these new moms are taking this drug, hoping that to get them through their pregnancy without dehydration. It was something.
Yeah, the mothers were being treated for morning sickness.
Yes, it was something that treated morning sickness, and because one of the dangerous things that's a side effect of morning sickness is dehydration. You get so sick that you can't even keep enough fluid in your body. So what doctors would do, they thought they had found a cure for it, and that they were going to make these pregnancies easier for women. And what was happening is, as a result, that children were born without limbs. This is very different than the amnion rupturing and causing a congenital limb loss. So I'm glad you brought that up. And we could talk about thalidomide too, because the women who took thalidomide were really demonized. They were saying, "Oh, you couldn't hang with morning sickness, so you had to take this drug that jeopardized your child." And that wasn't the case at all.
The only reason why I know about it is my mother actually took it when she was pregnant for my two brothers. Nothing happened to them, fortunately.
Wow.
But I was born in 1970, if that'll give you an idea how old I am. So there were a lot of kids during that time frame that
were born. Yes, I went to school with one, actually. And well, it was sad. Maybe we're going to just take a little bird walk here, but what was really sad about that kid, when I remember, is everybody in the neighborhood called him the thalidomide baby.
Oh, wow.
They didn't refer to him by his name. In fact, if I try to recall it, I have trouble recalling the fact that I still can't remember his name. They just
That's why we use person
this.
first.
I was just going to say.
Person
So we're
first
going to take a
language.
little bird walk into the importance of person first language, because I'm searching through my even older mind, trying to find this little boy's name. Well, he's my age now, but God willing, he's my age now, and I can't think of his name, but I remember all of the moms in the neighborhood calling him the thalidomide baby. Ugh. Sorry.
So I just wanted to bring up the difference between something that happens from a cause compared to congenital.
Right. This is congenital, meaning there isn't an outside cause for it. So what's going to happen for these children? Typically prosthetics, something that will give them more mobility, or in the case of the one student that I know, really nothing. He had some sensory and some occupational therapy that needed to happen for him, but he was really more comfortable without a prosthetic, and has gone on to live a quite successful life.
That's great. Again, if you like our content, please like and share and subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell notification.
Absolutely. Mash all the buttons.
Yeah. Leave a comment. If there's anything you want to know about, have questions, leave a comment. We will respond. And this is Roberta. She is a special educator, and I'm Sherry, and I am a mother of a child with Down syndrome. So we do all topics on anything to do with
any kind of disability.
Yes.
If you want to hear more about person first language, we would love to take another walk with you.
Maybe we can do another video on person first language.
I think we should.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, guys.